I run my family's funeral home. It was passed down to me by my father, and to him by his father before that. As far back as I can remember, this has always been our work. Some families pass down land, recipes, or businesses with friendly storefronts. We pass down the knowledge of how to care for the dead. I was named after a movie, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Came out in 1995. My parents saw it in the theater on their first date. I've always liked my name. Fits my job, sure, but more than that, it reflects how my parents saw the world. They believed you could be gentle and still do serious work. They believed kindness didn't cancel responsibility. And in a world where work like ours exists, you need both in equal measure. Growing up, I always knew who I was going to be. Some people call that limiting. I never did. There was peace in it. I never had to guess. I never had to panic about the future. I watched my father work. I watched how he spoke to families when they were exhausted from grief. I saw how he moved through the building like it was part of him. He knew which doors stuck in summer and which lights flickered during storms. He taught me how to carry weight without letting it crush you. I never wanted for anything from my parents. They were present, steady, and inspiring in the quiet way heroes are in books. They didn't sugarcoat reality, but they never frightened me either. Death was never a monster in our house. It was a fact, a serious one that deserved respect. That doesn't mean the job is easy. Funeral homes run on strange hours. Most of my work happens at night or early morning, when the rest of the world is asleep or just waking up. I smell like cleaning bleach more often than I'd like. It gets into your clothes, your hands, your hair. You can shower and still catch it later, like a reminder of where you've been. Socializing is difficult when your schedule never lines up. Friends stop asking about weekends. Dating gets awkward until I explain what I do for a living. Still, it makes for interesting first conversations. You can learn a lot about someone by how they react when you say you run a funeral home. Some get quiet. Some get nervous. Some get curious. I don't mind any of it. I both love and hate this work. I love the structure. I love knowing what's expected. I love that there's a right way to do things, and that doing them correctly matters. I love that families trust me during the worst days of their lives. I hate the isolation. I hate how the hours blur together. I hate that some days follow me home whether I want them to or not. But this is my place. It's mine to steward. The building itself has been here longer than I have. Longer than my father had when he first took over. Every generation added something small, a room, a hallway, a system that worked better than the last. Nothing flashy. Just practical improvements to keep things running smoothly. We cared for the dead, and we cared for the space where they stayed with us for a while. One day, this will belong to someone else. That's how it works. Before that happens, there are things you need to understand. Rules that must be followed. And if you're going to take my place someday, you need to know them. But we'll get to that. First, you should know the place you want to work in. And most importantly, you should know Ruby. Ruby is our family's hellhound. You'll see her before anything else in the building. She usually wakes before I do and waits in the hallway or on the front steps. She's quiet in the mornings, more alert at night. Most people assume she's a mutt, short coat, solid build, expressive face. She blinks like she's listening. When she sits, she leans to one side out of habit. She looks friendly and mostly she is, but she has horns. They curl back against her head, small and dark. When people notice them, I say it's a birth defect. Some kind of bone growth. Most people don't know enough about dogs to argue. They ask what breed she is. I tell them she's a mix. That's not a lie. She was assigned here, though I don't know by whom or how long her line has been watching this place. I didn't adopt her. She found me when I took over the building. My father never spoke about her, but when he died and I came home for good, she was already here waiting. Hellhounds are meant to guard the gates of the underworld. I don't know what Ruby did before she arrived, but someone decided this place qualified. Technically, I work for the dead. I prepare them, protect them, and watch over them until their families are ready to say goodbye. That seems to count. She doesn't speak, but she understands everything. She opens doors on her own. She waits beside the dead like a sentry. She won't eat unless I do. I trust her more than anyone. This funeral home has been in my family for generations. It began small and grew over time. Families knew they could come here for care and respect. The rules were simple. Handle the body properly, prepare the service, and ensure every step between death and burial was done right. But over the years, something changed. Death leaves traces. When grief, memory, and the physical body gather in one place long enough, energy builds. This building isn't haunted in the traditional sense. You won't see ghosts drifting through halls or figures waiting on staircases. But the energy is dense. Strange things happen here. The rules began as precautions to protect workers. Those same rules are what I'm going to pass on to you. I won't ask why you answered the job ad. We all have our reasons. What matters is that you learn how to stay alive in this building, and how to keep everything else where it belongs. We don't have a manual. We have stories. Each one holds a rule. Each rule has a reason. I'll give you both. You'll need to remember them. The house doesn't forgive mistakes. So pay attention. We'll start with the basics. Rule 1. Keep the lights on. Every room must be lit at all times. Hallways, prep rooms, bathrooms, storage, garage, coolers, viewing rooms, every space. Even the ones you're not using. Especially those. The master switches are by the front desk and in the basement. There's a generator in the shed behind the building. It's wired to cover everything. If power fails, it should start automatically. If it doesn't, you start it manually. Instructions are posted. Refill the fuel weekly. The reason is simple. Your job isn't just to clean and prepare the dead. You're also responsible for identifying anomalies. We call them rot. Rot isn't decomposition. The spiritual. Burns without cause. Lesions that don't follow anatomy. Skin that looks intact but feels hollow. Teeth too long. Limbs bending wrong. Rot is what's left when possession begins but doesn't finish. That halfway state is dangerous. If you see it, log it immediately in the red ledger. Never digitally. That book is sent weekly to Rome. Then you contain it. Minor cases get cleansed on site. Moderate ones require prayer. Extreme cases, movement, spreading, speech, mean calling the Vatican line. You stay until help arrives. Now back to the lights. Low light hides rot. Bright light reveals it. If a bulb dims, replace it. If it dims again, move the body. Do not continue work in unstable lighting. A possessed body can still act as a conduit. If it reaches a family, the possession can continue. This building is the final checkpoint. That's why the lights stay on. Always. Next comes rule 2. Follow protocol. When things go wrong, and they will, there are no shortcuts. Salt the mouth. Salt the eyes. Circle the body. Check the hands. Contain it. Call the priest. Stay. If you hear crying where no child exists, don't investigate. Finish the procedure. If the body moves, it's unstable. If it speaks, it's unsafe. Protocol exists because fear makes people hesitate. And hesitation gets people killed. Rule 3. Respect Ruby. She isn't a pet. She's your partner. She was sent here to protect you. Hellhounds guide the dead and shield the living. In our line of work, she's essential. Her presence disrupts interference. Bad thoughts fade near her. Focus returns. If you spiral, she'll ground you. If she won't approach you, you're already in trouble. If she warns you, listen. She sees what we can't. Smells what we miss. Trust her. And never forget what she is. Finally, Rule 4. Accept death as part of your life. Everyone who works here and stays will die on their 50th birthday. It's the agreement. Without it, we'd change. Rot would seep in. Slowly. Irreversibly. The agreement gives us a peaceful end. No suffering. No corruption. My parents passed that way. Same age. Same year. No fear. Mine is already planned. That's why I'm telling you this now. You deserve a choice. If you stay, your life will have purpose. You'll protect the living. Guide the dead. And when your time comes, you'll know it mattered. If you leave, I won't stop you. But if you stay, we continue. Tomorrow night, I'll ask for your answer. For now, there's work to do. I think the body in room 4C just moved. Let's go. Ruby's waiting.